What is a conjecture? A conjecture is a generalization that you think is true. A question can help you make a conjecture. When making a conjecture, the first thing we need to do is think of a generalization that we think is true. For example, the sum of two prime numbers is never a prime number. If we think about this conjecture and we look and find examples, we might think of all of the numbers that we know that are prime. For example, 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, and 13. Now the conjecture or generalization that we have made is that the sum of those prime numbers is never a prime number. So we find and test several examples. The first example that we have is if we take the two prime numbers 3 plus 5, their sum is 8. Is 8 a prime number? It's not. Then we test 5 plus 7. 5 plus 7 totals 12. 5 and 7 are both prime numbers, but 12 is not a prime number. So we have another case that is not true. Then we look at 2 plus 3. 2 plus 3 is 5, and 5 is a prime number, so that one does work. We did find, however, two cases that were not true. So we can say that the sum may be prime, but we found examples that were not prime. Therefore, we must say that this conjecture is not reasonable. If we look down here at this examples, all multiples of 5 are even numbers. Then I think of some multiples of 5. We have 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25. I think we have enough examples. Let's look and see, is our conjecture or generalization true? We have said that all multiples of 5 are even numbers. I see that 10 is an even number and 20 is an even number. However, 5, 15, and 25 are not even numbers. Therefore, we would say that this conjecture is not reasonable. The next conjecture we have says all odd numbers are prime numbers. If I go through and I find a few examples of odd numbers that are prime, I might think of 1, 3, 5, 7. So far, all of my examples do happen to be prime numbers. However, the next odd number that I'm going to write down is 9. And is 9 a prime number? It is not, because 3 times 3 equals 9. Therefore, this conjecture is not reasonable. If your conjecture is not true all of the time, it is not reasonable. Let's see if we can find one more here. If we look at our next conjecture, it says the difference of two even numbers is always an even number. So if I try a few examples, 10 minus 8, the answer is 2. It's an even number. Let's try a couple more. 22 minus 6. The difference of two prime numbers ends up being 16. That is also an even number. I'm trying to think of a situation where this would not be true. All of the situations that I can think of are true. Therefore, this is a reasonable conjecture.